Hey guys, good morning. A little bit after Christmas, a belated Merry Christmas of 2022 to everybody. Haven't been able to rattle off a video for the last several weeks for a couple reasons. Nothing on my side has occurred, nothing bad happened. I just don't want to be the guy that only reports the bad stuff. But in driving to work this morning, I pass a Sam's Club and I pass another couple of gas stations which are family owned, and their motto is, as far as their pricing goes, they will always be at the same price as Sam's Club is, which is great for us locals. So December 26, 2022, whenever you happen to view this video, fuel was $2.74 a gallon, which to me is pretty good. It was only as low, well, when the last president took office, they claim it was, I think, $2.29, but we were in the dollar something range, $1.29, something like that. So we're still $1.50 over what we used to be, but we are a far cry from, say, California prices, as we're in Arizona. I'm in the tri-state area, Nevada, Arizona, California. And what I have been noticing is it's sort of like the stock market, and I'm not in the stock market. I never had an interest. We have plenty of gambling here where I live if anybody wants to gamble. But what I'm kind of noticing in our industry, and I'm talking about the vending industry now, is there is a little bit of a correction going on. And the correction is pricing. Many of you know that myself and a good colleague run the Vending Classified Facebook group. And it's a very big group. I haven't looked recently, but we have somewhere around 40,000 members. This was not founded by me. This was founded by a very good friend and a very good customer, and because he wanted a little more time in his life, he again is a full-line vendor, he turned it over to myself and Mark. So we try and read those posts, figure out which ones might potentially be a scam. We can't figure them all out. But our founder, he would go through at night, and he said sometimes he would spend 2 hours after dinner going through and reading them and checking profiles, etc. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit to do with this video, is what is your time worth? A little bit less than a year ago, we're going on a year, a couple months, I ventured into the ATM business. And I got my first spot, got my second spot right away, got my third spot right away. So the long and short of it is, now we're up to about approaching 20 spots, and many in my downline. In other words, people that I have put in the business, I get a very small piece of that. And when I say very small, most people don't think it's worth it. However, those extra few dollars a month, they're going to add up because they continue to come in. So I help the people that I feel are going to do a good job and potentially grow their business. I don't have time for hours on the phone. I've made a few videos on the ATM business. Some of the early ones might be a little bit clunky, but they should answer all your questions. But as far as full line, we're going to talk about ATMs here in a minute and what it's done for me and my feelings. But as far as full line, we are noticing a correction in the prices. Guys, remember the 35-plus-year-old snack machines that we would see on there for $2,500? I mean, that's about $300 more than they sold for in the 80s. And I'm talking about, let's just give you an example. The two most popular snack machines built in the 80s was an AP 7600 and a Crane National 147. And of course they had smaller versions of those, but those were $2,300, $2,400. I think the Crane were maybe $100 or $2 more. National always seemed to be just a little bit more, but a good quality machine. But now I am seeing single price sodas. They're back down to people that maybe have one that doesn't cool. It's got a funky bill validator and coin mech, and they're asking $300. These same machines, they were asking $750, $900. I saw many of them in that range that didn't cool. We all know that if you're not a refrigeration person, and I was, and I still hold my card, but I don't do it anymore, you're going to spend, with freight, $350 for a replacement deck, unless you have somebody like my friend Mark in Southern California that does refrigeration, and he can repair the cooling decks for you. But the correction is these two-piece locations, snack and soda, and they claim they make $50 to $75 a week, and they want $4,800 for the pair, when to me the equipment value has no more value than maybe $600 or $800, and $800 is only if it has MEI validators in it, so you can add another $150 per machine to those. But now the stuff has come down. A lot of the small operators, garage operators, people with a couple, 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, they are selling out. They're realizing they can't run a business for a couple reasons that's that small. They don't get rid of the product fast enough. The spoilage will kill you. Dated drinks are a real downturn. Back in the day, we didn't have dates on canned drinks. We used to joke that in some of these slant shelf machines that were not first in, first out, that root beer might be at that bottom shelf, or that orange, it might be there for 3 years, but you'd crack one open, it was as good as the day it went in there. So as far as these dated sodas in a bottle, it's because the UV light gets to it and causes them to deteriorate quicker. But in a can, I'm still not sold on the fact that there should be a date on cans, but that's not why this video is being produced. So what I'm seeing, guys, if you've hung in there, there is a correction in the market value of stuff. This equipment that they were selling for $2,500 a piece, you know, we used to get trailer loads from Coke and Pepsi of these, say, single price machines, $50, and 90% of them would cool. They may not have a coin mech in them. It might have had something really old, maybe an old purple maca. But to go through them and fix them up, maybe change the front, you'd have $300 maybe in cost, and you'd have a nice machine for $500 or less. And I'm serious. We used to buy those by the trailer load, $50 a piece. We'd sell them for $100 a piece, and people were just elated with this kind of equipment. But in the days when I started, the old pull knob candy and cigarette machines, cigarettes, you over doubled your money after paying the tax. Cigarettes were 22 cents, you'd sell them for 50. Tax was 2 or 3 cents a pack. Sometimes you gave a commission, maybe 10%. Candy, 10 cents. You paid 5.5 cents. You'd make 4 cents even after commission. But the machines were $50, guys, not $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I would venture to say, and go out on a limb, all these people that want to buy these combo machines, and do please comment, who has actually got their investment back, not in a year, but in 2 years? There are combo machines out there. They don't hold jack diddly for soda as far as capacity goes, and these machines new off the line are $6,800. You pay to ship them in, that's another $500. You pay sales tax, you're in them $8,000. You guys do the math, and I'll give you a stretch. Even at 50 cents profit per item, which is really a stretch, with your gas, your insurance, business costs, it's liable to be more like 25 or 30 cents. You do the math and figure out how many products you're going to schlep in and out of the back of your SUV into that factory on a hand truck, what you're going to throw away. I'm not so sure that that's the way to go. Now, it's great if you land a college campus or something like that, but we all know vending is a big business, and we all know the big corporate entities that have those locations. So anyways, guys, a little bit of a correction in price. I don't think these people actually sold these single price machines for $1,000, and these AP 7600s, I don't think they actually got $1,800 or $2,000. So if you're looking at doing a little thrifty shopping, you should be able to buy this stuff between $300 and $600, if not now, in the very coming months, depending on what our economy does as far as you know who. But anyways, so guys, I got in the ATM business. My biggest thought was I got in it very late in the game. It's really grown on me. I've seen some people post and they say, gee, how many hours do you spend servicing your business? You don't go around and check them. You have a complete login on your telephone, on your laptop. You know exactly who and when is low. It even gives you an approximation of how many days are needed until your next service. I never wait for one day. I go within, 2, 3, 4 days, and then I make a point. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to swing out that way for something else. Maybe I've got an errand to run. I'll stop in, and even if it's not out, I'll certainly top it off. But the ATM business has really grown on me. It is a very easy business. I pay a handyman with a truck or a van $100 to go out with me, brings them in, anchors them to the floor, does the concrete drilling. He's the one on his hands and knees. If I need to run a Cat 5 wire, he gets up on the ladder and he can do that stuff. It's just a lot better for myself. It's good for him. He's a friend and he makes a little bit of money. But I don't put any out without a contract, and I explain to the people, if they scoff at a 5-year contract, first of all, that location has to be approved, and there's a little bit of time involved. So I explain to them that, listen, when I bolt this thing down, unless you close up shop or your business burns to the ground, that ATM's not moving. And I am 100% contracted. If I ever want to sell my business, which I probably never will, I will probably pass it down because it's easy. It'll be well established. I'd like to double in size in the next maybe year to even 18 months. I'd like to get to about 36 pieces, and I am partnering up with some people that are close by that want to be a vaulter / cash loader. In other words, they get paid. I put ATMs in their neighborhoods, even if they're a state away. I'm not going to go too much further than that. And they're paid per transaction. It's my account. It's my contract. They get paid, and they use their own cash. So it works. It's doubly plus. They may not have the money. They may not have the sales ability. I am possibly this year, and this is only a rumor that I'm starting myself, I am possibly going to employ a telemarketer who I do know. This is not somebody new. This is somebody who's been in the industry forever. And I'm going to try and get locations for people. And these are only going to be realistically people that process with me, because once again, we make a small amount of money. They're in our docket. We consider them to be family. Probably in the $250 range. If you don't process with us, you're already set up, you don't want to change, we can possibly help you with locations, but it's probably more apt to be in the $350 to $400 range. I remember this past year, and they have long gone, there was somebody out there selling locations, and they had a list, and they would have a liquor store and the 24-hour, which is awesome, and they would want $900 for a location. Once again, guys, think about how long it takes to get the $900 back. Now, they had some stuff that was $400. That was about the minimum as well, but I looked at that type of spots. These are places you wouldn't put an ATM machine. They just fell into these, and if that little whatever they did, shoe repair shop wanted an ATM machine, maybe it had some kind of business next door that they thought was going to bring a lot of traffic. I am finding that people don't necessarily shop around a shopping center. In other words, if you're the only one in a little strip mall, maybe 6 or 8 stores, and you put one in the middle at the sewing and vac shop, well, if there's a taco shop at the far end 4 or 5 stores away, they don't necessarily find your ATM, I'm noticing. So guys, put them in good spots. Put them in spots where they're going to suffice in that business. You can always move them. I haven't moved a machine yet. I've got a couple spots, but I give them a minimum of 90 days, and I have a couple spots that are, let's just say, losers. The ROI would be 2 years minimum, which is not sufficient, but they have plans. One of them is adding an ice cream entity to one side. One of them is considering an arcade to one side. It would be the only one in town. So that one I'm holding off on. I've got another small store just opened. They can go 3-4 days without a transaction. They might get 3-4 on a weekend. Once again, it's a loser, but it's a brand new business. So for now, it's free storage. I'd rather have them out there working than in my shop sitting. So guys, where I'm going with this is the ATM business. If I wasn't so busy running my parts business and doing repairs, it would really give me a lot of time. And I'm considering taking that advantage. I may at some point pass my parts business along to somebody else. Every time I've sold either a portion of my business, or I've gone from San Jose, Lake Tahoe, Reno, back down to Las Vegas, and now of course I'm in the tri-states, I've never advertised all of my business or a portion of it for sale. Somebody has always come to me that had an interest, and we've been able to make a deal. So that's not something I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm considering it only because I'm really digging the ATM business. Hopefully I'll put a website up this coming year, and we will be able to help people with locations. So for now, just a little update. I think things are going to get better here. We've had 2 tough years, and hopefully you have some equipment out there that is paid for, that's making you a little bit of money, because making payments on equipment that's not making it is no fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for all your support. Hopefully we'll see a video a little bit quicker than the last one, which I know has been 6 or 8 weeks. So for now, let's hope for a prosperous 2023, and thanks for your support. For now, Doug at Doug's World Tour, and I'm out.